Hi guys, and welcome back to Padwife Unfiltered. I'm Kirsha.
And I'm Sophie, and we are here to answer all your Padwife life dilemmas, drama stories, funny stories, or just give you a bit of unqualified advice.
100%. I don't know how we're going to even manage to do this without sounding like pure idiots, but we'll give it a go.
Well, I won't sound like an idiot. You might. What is the question of the week, Kirsha?
So the question of the week that we have is, what's something that no one warned you about military spouse life?
Everything.
Absolutely
Literally
everything.
Everything, personally. You can't warn someone about it because everyone's journey is different and everyone's experience is different. Like, some people hate certain postings, but some people love that posting, you know?
Yeah.
It's what you make it.
Yeah, and I also think that people kind of, and I made this mistake of going into it thinking I needed to know 101 things, right?
Yeah.
But as time goes on, you realise everything changes so much. You don't need to know everything straight away. You don't need to be figuring it out. I think you before you go into it, you do it as you go along.
And everyone's advice and experience will be different.
Different, yeah.
So it's one of those things, you can take advice and you can listen to what people say about it, but it's also about finding your jam with it, because it's such a unique experience for every person.
Yeah.
That it is, although we can give advice on what works for us and what we found helpful and all that stuff, that might not work for you, but you might find something that is really helpful that could help other people, you know? So it is just kind of trial and error with things.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time, and something that I've noticed, there's a lot of assumptions that sometimes happen with regards to people thinking that you're all in the same boat. And obviously where, you know, for example, regiments differ, leave differs, everything differs. So you can't kind of sit there and tar everything with the same brush as such, because like you say, everyone's experience is different. Although the deployments are there and everybody kind of has that thing, their own experience of it will differentiate to anybody else's.
Definitely. We've had some responses from our listeners. So someone put, something that no one warns you about military spouse life is how lonely it gets even when you're surrounded by people.
Yeah.
This really hits home for me because it's such a strange experience that you're surrounded by people but you can feel lonely, because loads of people will say, but you've got loads of people in the community, you've got people around you, that it still doesn't mean that it doesn't get lonely.
No, you could be sat in a room, and I've actually done this when my husband has gone away and I've had people in the same room as me, and I have felt like they're not there because my whole mind is consumed by the fact that he's gone and he's not there anymore, because I'm not thinking or focusing about what they're saying to me or what's going on around me. My person is not there and I'm just missing him, even though it could have been like a week since he left or whatever.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think as well, to put on it though, is that it's not always lonely. Like, you can do things to kind of help yourself along that, whether it be meeting up with a friend or FaceTiming a friend from home or anything like that. But there are times where it is lonely, when you're kind of in the evenings at home, maybe you're making dinner for yourself and it's quiet.
Yeah.
But it's not 100% lonely all the time. So I don't want to almost worry people who may be coming into this life. Of course it's going to be lonely when your partner's away, but there are things that you can do, events that you can go to within the community that can really help you.
Yeah, and it's pushing yourself
out of
your comfort zone, over your boundaries of, and I know we say it and we're going to come back to it, but definitely putting yourself out there. I was guilty that I never did that ever, and then I would get isolated.
Yeah.
But that was a repercussion of my choices.
Yeah.
And I think putting yourself out there enables you to have that kind of backbone around you, that those people around you that can help. And there are times where you sit there and like, I don't want to associate with anybody today, and that's fine. But I think, yeah, absolutely, you have to put yourself out there to have that.
And when you do have the days that you don't want to associate with anyone, if they're friends within the military community, they'll
They'll
get
get
it.
Yeah.
No one gets a padwife like a padwife. And I know that, again, that is so cliche, but it's so true.
Yeah, I mean, you've texted me and said, look, I can't today.
Yeah, exactly. So another one that someone sent in was how often you have to start friendships all over again.
Yes.
And I think this is, sorry to interrupt, but I think this is sometimes that why people isolate themselves, because they don't want to start a friendship to then move away again. Yeah. So I do get that.
Yeah. We have had this said a lot, and I've heard this a lot through the years. And yes, it is a thing. You know, I won't lie. I've had friendships along the way that we kind of just drifted. Like, they moved away, we just drifted.
Yeah, nothing's happened. You just
just kind of
journeys.
Yeah. But I do think also that could come with anywhere, not necessarily.
Yeah, not just military community. Yeah. You have friends that you go to school with that you didn't fall out with, but you just no longer friends with because you've gone on different paths.
Yeah. So no, I think that is right. But again, it's a personal thing, isn't it? About whether you're how you are with that person.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know in the comments anything that you want us to touch upon. What is the hardest part that no one warned you about military wife life, and how have you dealt with it? Because I think hearing from people who are experiencing the same thing is really, really useful. Yeah,
because you know, we've had somebody else say as well, message in and say that basically you become a single parent when they're away. And yeah, I get that. I mean, everything falls on you. You are both. And then when you're having, you know, when your kids are at the age of understanding that daddy's away or mummy's away, like it's hard. And you have to kind of sit there. You know, I've had my son on the stairs crying, sobbing because he wants his dad.
And also you're missing the person as well. So you're trying to navigate
that
children,
and then navigate their feelings. Yeah. And then also not show how upset you are because you then, you know, children pick up on things. They're really intuitive like that. If they feel that you're feeling a certain type of way, they'll react to that. So, you know, I have had to have those conversations with him, and it is very hard when you don't then have that support there to be like, to kind of back you.
And I think that is why it is important to try and find people in the community because they will get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, it is hard. I mean, we also had another one as well, and I think this is very, very true, and I think you'll like this one. How independent you actually end up becoming.
Oh my God.
Because we've had conversations about this.
Bitch.
Yeah. You do though. You end up, when they come back after being away, you are so freaking proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I did that.
Yeah,
by
definitely.
myself. Yeah.
And it's not that I don't struggle. It's not that I don't miss him.
Yeah.
But I think as well, because Josh does go away so much, not so much at the moment, luckily, but in the past 6 years, it's been my norm. Like he said to me the other day, he was like, "Oh, I'm going on a 2-week exercise," and I was like, "That's like 2 hours for me." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still rubbish, but I do feel like really
I think you learn to tolerate it more.
I don't feel independent when I have to put the bins out because I hate it.
No, I've always said to Reese, that's you know, call me sexist, whatever, but that is the man's job.
Yeah, that is the only job I give John.
Yeah.
The last one that we've got is how quickly gossip can spread on the patch. Now, before, yes, agreed.
But I think it can happen anywhere.
We talked about it before. We both grew up horsey people. Equestrian community was the same.
Yeah.
School is the same.
Yeah.
Mums on the school run. You know, gossip is everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think you feel like it is more dominated
because
within
the
community
bubble
that you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you think at any housing estate, you're going to know what the neighbour down the road has done.
Yeah, if you live on a cul-de-sac, everyone's there, curtain twitchers and all.
Yeah.
I'm a curtain twitcher.
I am now. I do like looking out the window sometimes, seeing what everyone's up to. My neighbour caught me once.
Oh no. Did
That
you
was
make eye contact?
I made eye contact.
Oh, no.
And I just slowly went.
Bye. Now I've got my Ring doorbell. I love people watching on it.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
ever walk past my house, know I'm watching you.
Bit weird.
I am though. No shame. I don't care. This video is very kindly sponsored by Fourswear, which is a veteran-owned and operated business. They have such a range to choose from, and it's all 100% cotton and manufactured in the UK.
They are, honestly, the quality is amazing. And for example, this is for my husband who is in the RLC. We've got, in my defence, I was left unsupervised, which I don't tend to do.
Yeah, and Josh is in the Irish Guards. Cannot wait to give this to them. So we have a few questions and dilemmas that have been written in from our lovely listeners. So the first one we have is from a female. She is 39. Hi girls, I've never really spoken about this out loud because I feel guilty even thinking about it, but I really need some advice. I've been with my husband since we were about 14, 15, so I genuinely don't know any different life than being with him. We now have 3 kids, all under 10, and I love them more than anything in the world. But lately, I've been feeling a lot of resentment towards my husband, and I don't know how to deal with it. You talk about, we get a lot of questions about resentment.
Yeah.
And it's totally valid. I'll carry on and then. He's been able to build a full career in the military, progress, go away on courses, deployments, and travel with work, while I've mostly been at home with the kids. I've had a few little jobs here and there over the years, but one of our children has special needs and needs full care outside of school, which makes holding down a proper full-time job pretty much impossible. I feel like I've put my entire life on hold for our family while his has continued to grow. Some days it feels like he can come home and go as he pleases while I'm the one juggling everything at home. I know he works hard and provides for us, but I can't shake the feeling that I've sacrificed so much of myself. And I think, before I carry on, that is so true. You can feel like all the responsibility, all the pressure, everything falls to you.
Yeah.
And especially when kids are then involved. You actually did a video about this, how if your children are sick and they need
everything
a day
falls
off
to you. Yeah.
you've got to make the change.
Yeah, because like I actually had a couple of people comment on that video and be like, oh no, but they can get the time off. And it's like, yes, they can.
But that is also very dependent on what's going on in that regimen.
Exactly. And that, it is difficult for them to get time off compared to us. Like, don't get me wrong. There are days where I'm like, okay, right, I really cannot call this in to work, but I have to because of his job. And yes, I totally get what she's saying, because I do get resentment for that. And I do talk to him about it because I'm like, look, I'm not being funny, but it seems everything is take from me and give,
I think it's
the
hard.
ability for him, but it's hard.
I think it's even harder when it's actually not their fault either.
No.
It's just due to the job.
No. And like, like I said, there are times where I get so frustrated, but I know that it's not his fault.
It's not the frustration at him.
No.
It's about the situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's no lie that military spouses,
they come second.
They come second.
Yeah.
There is a lot more that needs to be done with regards to they should be able to have their careers and not to have to sacrifice their jobs for their partner's jobs. So that it is known, and it is, I'm hoping one day it will change.
Talked about, but yeah. She then carried on. She said, I also sometimes catch myself wishing I'd travelled more or lived a bit before settling down so young. And then I feel awful for even thinking that much because I love my kids so much. How do I deal with this resentment without it ruining my marriage or making me feel like a bad mum and wife? I get the travel thing because I've spoken to you about this personally, about before starting a family, I want to make sure I travelled. And I see things all the time. I did a bit of travelling in my 20s and I so wish I'd done more. I do kind of like, I'm 32 this year, and I do sometimes think, why didn't I do more? Why didn't I go to that place? Now I feel like I've run out of time a little bit, and now, you know, body clock, all that kind of stuff, I've got to adult essentially. And you can, but I think that happens with everyone about certain aspects of their life. There's always going to be stuff that you're going to sit there and go, I wish I'd done that.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish I'd spent more time doing this. Or, you know, people get that all the time. It's totally normal to feel that way.
Yeah. And I think with regards to navigating like how she feels, the best thing that I can say is sit down and have a conversation with him and just let him know like what you're feeling, because I think if you're piling a load of stuff up on yourself and just letting it sit there and essentially fester, it makes it worse for your mindset.
And it could mold into a lot bigger thing.
Yeah, and then a big explosion that didn't really need to happen. You know, like when I feel kind of the resentment towards my husband and stuff, I do just kind of communicate it to him and be like, look, I'm not being funny, but I'm getting fucked off. Yeah. But it's not at him, it's at the situation.
Well, we've kind of had a personal situation that has, we tried to book a holiday for the four of us.
Yeah.
And this has been talked about and planned for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we finally were like, right, we're going to book, we're going to go. And they were like, right, yeah, these dates could work. And then we're now going on a girls' trip because we couldn't make it work. But we weren't about to sit there and be like, well, we're just not going, because at some point you do have to think, no, do you know what? I am going to do this for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think where she's saying about the kids and stuff and what you said about traveling, I'm not going to lie. I'm okay with it, with not have.
You've never been like a big traveling person.
And I think, I don't know what it is. I'm like, when it happens, it will happen and I'll go. But I don't think, you know, she's mentioned there that she feels like a bad mum. Like she can't feel like a bad mum. No. She's also,
you've just listed all the things that you have sacrificed to give your kids and your marriage the best.
Yeah, but I think as mums, the one thing we forget, we put ourselves in the box as mum, right?
Yeah.
For so long, but we also forget that we're at people at the same time, and we are human, and we also have our own kind of needs and wants, and that is allowed. Like we can't sit there and just because we're mums and think, no, we can't have that, we can't do that just because we're a mum. We absolutely can, and otherwise it's too much pressure on us.
I say it to you all the time. I was like, Kasha, you are allowed to go out for dinner. Like I'm always like, oh, me and Josh will come and look after the kids. You guys are allowed to go and, you know, have a relationship still. That shouldn't stop. Obviously there's lots, it's different, but yeah, I always say that. Moving on, let us know in the comments if you have any advice for this listener that could help her along her way. But please know you're not a bad mum, you're not a bad wife. Your journey is your journey, and everything I'm a big believer of everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah, no, I am. But we do have another one from another lady, female 25. Hi girls, I fear my life has turned into a soap opera, and I am the villain, the victim, and the entertainment. So a year ago my partner cheated on me whilst he was away with work.
Get in the bin.
I found the messages, cried for 3 business days, considered arson, joking, and eventually we decided to move past it. Did I move past it? No. Did I pretend I did? Absolutely.
Do you ever move past something like that?
I don't know. Now for context, I'm bisexual, which my partner knows about and has always been very relaxed about. Fast forward to a few months ago, and I became really close with a woman at the gym. Started as spotting each other, turned into protein shake chats, turned into drama dumping about my cheating partner. One thing led to another, and suddenly I'm having a full-blown secret situationship with a woman who owns a motorbike, and it's hot.
And it's hot. The way you said that.
No, because she's put it in capitals. I have accidentally gone from a hurt girlfriend to living a double life. The worst part, I keep justifying it by thinking, well, he cheated first, So this is basically fair.
Oh.
Now my partner is at home talking about our future whilst I'm deleting messages like I'm in the FBI and sneaking out saying I'm going for a walk.
Okay, sorry. Let's still not forget that he did cheat as well. Let's
yes.
not. Yeah.
And I feel bad, but also, wow. I feel bad, but also slightly empowered and also deeply unhinged. Right. Okay.
When Kirsha says okay and she adjusts in her sheet.
Shit.
Adjusts in her seat, you know shit's about to go down. 2
wrongs
don't make
a right.
You don't fight fire with fire.
No. And if you are in that sort of situation, I think you just need to call it off.
Yeah, there's
and end it.
Yeah. He's cheated. You are now in a whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
You've got also, I just want to say, and I don't know their full backstory, obviously.
No.
But think about how you felt when you found out he cheated on you.
Yeah. I think, there are certain circumstances with things like this when they happen. You're like, I don't know about you, but certain circumstances there's a bit of leniency. I don't know.
What?
But
with what leniency?
Sometimes if someone's a complete and utter total arse, you're like,
oh, okay, right, I see what you mean.
But, I mean, he was a total arse for cheating, don't get me wrong. But also, if you're deleting messages and stuff like that, you are essentially having an affair. So
yeah, I need to know, did he cheat and have
was it a one night stand or was it a full blown affair?
Not that either of those are okay, by the way, but
no, they're not.
Yeah, I think it like you say, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You've got to really think that, is there still love between you, or is there still moving forward? Because you're both in the wrong, girl. I'm sorry.
I think she needs to end it, because I think that if she's saying it's a situationship, right?
Yeah.
And it's continuing, and then he's talking about their future and stuff. I just think if you're quite content with where you are with this other person, then
or talk about an open relationship.
Sack it.
If you both want to stay together, like,
if you want, if that's what he wants, I'm pretty sure a guy probably would say no.
Well, I don't know.
But
my husband would say no. But yeah, I don't know. That is a tricky one. Let us know in the comments what advice you would give this listener, because I'm stumped.
Yeah, I think they need to just call it quits. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but you don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
No.
Does anyone know?
No. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see opinions on that, because I'm going to say it again. I don't know.
Well, we don't know. But thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If you have any more questions, queries, or need a little bit of advice or a rant, and you just want to get something off your chest, please send us a DM, comment on this video, or email into hello@padwives.co.uk. And if you want to stay anonymous, let us know too.
Make sure you are liking and subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next time.